Well, I've been quiet the last few days because I've been having to do some things for Margaret, help her along. But I did get out. I did get down here a few times and I got some things done. I just thought I'd bring you up to date. This is engine number 1. He ran away from home, but he missed me so much he came back. And he came back with some weirdness, things going on. Um, his new forever homeowner decided it wasn't ready yet, so he got it back to me, and I found several things that in the course of building and using. This is the first one that went out, so I kind of thought some things would happen, but I didn't know exactly what. But the first thing was, when I got it, it had no smoke. I didn't know what was going on with that, so I had to go through the wiring and come to find out the pin on the positive input of the sound of the smoke board was something wasn't soldered correct. It wasn't soldered all the way through. It was just soldered like on top. And so I had to clean it out and put it back together and re-solder that. And that seems to repair. Now we have smoke, good power, good all that. And then his chuff trigger was intermittent. It would start, but it wouldn't work. And then it wouldn't work at high speed. And I went through the chuff trigger, it was fine. I went through the soundboard, it was fine. So then I started going through the harness and I found one little connector inside there that was a little bent and it wasn't connecting right, and it was sort of intermittent. So I had to take it out and put in a new one. Well, by doing that, I ruined the plastic part, but I just got a new order of plastic connector parts so I could put that back together fresh. So we got the smoke, we got the chuff, and then he's moaning about his reverse is too slow. And I put the diode in. I didn't understand, why is this reverse too slow? It should be fine, but I start thinking about it. It's hard to explain, but I'm thinking there could be something coming in rather than just up on the motor control board. Maybe just something coming in through the rectifier, like smoke or something. I don't know. So I put a second diode on the motor control board on the input to the positive so that it will block when the transformer is shut off. It'll block any residue from any capacitor sitting somewhere coming into the board, and that solved that. Now I'm getting to get his harness reworked. He needs the new pan and the adapters, and then I can try the harnesses out on his engine and see if that's going to do him, or is he going to need new harness assemblies. I'm thinking it should work. I should be able to put it in and tighten up the harnesses, and he should be okay. And if that were the case, then his engine would be done and everything would be working. So there's his full speed smoke and full speed chuff. And if we change directions, there's the idle, there's reverse, there's the idle, and there's forward. So we got forward and reverse and idle. The idle smoke is pretty cool. If you slow it down, you can get it to a trickle. It's pretty neat. And the soundboard's working, everything's working great. All 6 of his wheels just free. You know, you turn upside down and you spin the wheels and they all go, they just spin. So his trucks, his tender trucks are working great. And now I'm waiting on the printer. While I'm waiting on the printer, I bought a tool to knurl these axles and it didn't work. I sent it back. But then I realized I had bought hardened steel. That's why it didn't work. So I ordered it again and it brought it back. And the one they sent me was just made wrong. It wasn't good. The wheels, you have 2 idler wheels, and you put your bar stock in here, and then you have a third wheel that comes in, it's supposed to crush it. Well, the one they sent me, this idler wheel here was over like here. It didn't even touch this other wheel, so it would never have worked right. So I had to send it back. Then I upgraded. That one was from India. This one is made in America. And this one, if you can look at it, you can see it's dead center. It's very solid. It's still cast metal and all, but it's very precision. Its threads are nice and clean. It rolls nice. The wheels are nice. And I just finished a test part. I took an old straight axle and I knurled the center, and I tested it with a gear, and it locks on perfectly. And now I'm going to work. Now I'm designing the knurl pattern, because I can't just that my knurl is really wide, so I got to come up with something. I think this knurl is like 6 millimeters, and the gear is only 4, so that leaves me 1 mil of knurled surface out on the shaft, and then I can't get my ball bearings up because it really comes out like that, way out. So the ball bearing needs to have that. Anyway, so I'm working on what I don't knurl and what I do and how can I do it. I may have to knurl it wide, just knurl it at whatever I get, and then just clamp it and get some sandpaper and smooth this down so that I can get the ball bearing on the full side. And then I got to rough up the corners once I get that done. But I pressed it into an old shaft just to make sure I could press it in and the gear stayed square. I used my spacers and all my tricks. It was square, it was tight, it was just perfect. It was really great. So I'm convinced this cost 3 times as much as the cheap one. But you know what they say, you get what you pay for, right? So let's see, that's skills. What he needs is a wire harness. His engine's done, basically. He just needs a wire harness built for him. This one is done. I need to put it back together and change out his ash pan and put his harness together. And then this one is done, but he needs that axle and gear done to it. So I got to make an axle and gear for that one, and then everything else on it is done. It works perfect. So I got all 3 are like 90, 95% there, and 2 days now of rain, so I should get something done, huh? I've been down here all morning, all day. I got a lot done. I'll get a lot more done. And now every time I do something, then I know what to check on others, you know. Check this, check that. Make sure the soldering's done well. Make sure you're crimping your connectors well. I say I ran out of these, so I have trouble, so I got new ones now, so I'm in good shape. And the printer's printing. You see that? He's printing his ash pan with the slots and grooves and whatnot, so we'll get that done, put that on there, see how that engine runs. I'll put them all on the rails. It looks like if I have them running tomorrow, I'm going to put all 3 of them on the rails, I'll tell you that, because I think that would be a hoot. I could put one up on the upper lane, one on the lower, one on the lower. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll have them on there. All right, run later. Bye.